Hey everybody, this is a 30-minute vinyasa flow for balance. If you need a little bit more of a warm-up, I'll put a link below. Begin in a comfortable seated position on your yoga mat. Bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your stomach. Sit tall, keep your eyes closed, and as you breathe, feel your stomach expand on the inhale. Your chest rises, and as you exhale, feel everything empty. As you begin to deepen your breath, make an intention to stay present during the practice. Making an intention to link your breath with your movement. We'll just take another deep breath in and out. And then when you're ready, lift your arms overhead. And as you exhale, bring the right arm forward and left arm back. I'm going to do this 3 times, just warming up the shoulders. When we get to the top of that third one, we'll switch sides, so left arm goes forward, right arm back. Try to stay as tall as you can, linking your breath with your movement. And at the top of this one, interlace your fingers and press the palms up to the sky. Lift the heart, look up, little mini back bend here. And as you exhale, bring your hands to the base of your head and gently bring the chin towards the chest for a long spine, little stretch in the neck. Breathe full, deep breaths. And on your next inhale, come forward. Spread your fingers, bring the knees underneath the hips, curl your toes. Take a deep breath in. Bring your arms out in front of you. Send the hips forward and lower all the way down. As you inhale, rise up into Sphinx pose. Elongate the spine, and as you exhale, melt forward. Curl your toes, press up, take child's pose. On your next inhale, we'll round forward and do it again. So bring the hips forward, lower all the way down. Inhale, Sphinx pose, exhale, melt forward. Hands by your sides. Make your back strong as you lift up, take child's pose. Inhale, round forward. Hips forward, lower down. Elbows underneath shoulders, Sphinx pose, and melt. Hands by your sides, push up, child's pose. As you inhale, come forward, lift your hips, plank pose. Then we're going to lift the right leg and tap to the outside of the left foot. Come back to plank. We'll do it on the other side. So we want to be really strong here in the core. Plank. Then lift the hips for downward facing dog and step your feet up the mat a couple of inches just to clarify your foundation. Make any small movements you need to. It's our first downward dog of the day, so stretch out, work out any of the kinks, and then when you're ready, just settle in. No worries if your heels don't touch the ground. Just let wherever you are be enough. We want to picture the body as an upside down letter V. Spread your fingers and plug in, so if somebody tried to lift the tips of your fingers, they wouldn't be able to. We're still breathing full, deep, complete breaths, and inviting the inner thighs to spin up to the sky. As you inhale, lift your right leg, bend the knee, and open up the hip. Bring the right shoulder in line with the left shoulder as it tends to pop out. Spread your right toes. Then on your next inhale, bring shoulders over wrists, holding in plank, and lifting up for 3-legged dog. On your next inhale, shoulders over wrists, knee into forehead, squeeze and lift, 3-legged dog. Shoulders over wrists, knee into forehead, squeeze and lift. Shoulders over wrists, knee into forehead, squeeze, and then step the right foot to the front of the mat. Coming up, we're going to find Warrior One. So hips are facing forward, outer edge of the left foot is pressing into the ground. Right knee directly above right ankle or slightly behind. Take some deep breaths here. Tuck the tailbone a little bit so you're not having to sway back. And bring the hands down. We'll step back for 3-legged plank, lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, melt. Curl the toes, lift the knees. Stiff back as you rise up, downward facing dog. Step the feet up the mat a couple of inches. Coming back to your full, deep breaths. Spinning the inner thighs up towards the sky. Bend the knees if you have to. Let the head go, taking the gaze towards the navel. On your next inhale, we're going to lift up the left leg, spread the left toes. Bend the knee, open up the hip, and then bring the left shoulder in line with the right shoulder as it tends to pop out of alignment there. On your next inhale, we're going to bring shoulders over the wrists, coming into a plank position, but keeping that left knee directly where it is, so just bent. As you inhale, rise up, three-legged dog. And when you're ready, shoulders over wrists, knee into forehead, and lift, three-legged dog. Shoulders over wrists, knee into forehead, lift, three-legged dog. Last one. Shoulders over wrists, knee into forehead, and step the foot down to the front of the mat. On your next inhale, rise up and find your way into Warrior One. So for Warrior One, we want the back foot 45 degrees, hips facing forward. We don't want too much of a sway back in the low back. Left knee directly above left ankle or slightly behind. As you inhale, bring the hands down to the mat. Use your core strength, three-legged plank, and lower down. Inhale, cobra pose, and exhale, melt forward. Curl your toes, activate the core, press up, downward facing dog. Step your feet up the mat a couple of inches to clarify the foundation. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, exhale with a sigh through your mouth. Staying with your intention, as you rise onto your toes, bend your knees and hop to the front of the mat. As you inhale, halfway lift, hands can be on the shins. As you exhale, forward fold, hip joints over ankles. Inhale, rise up with a flat back. Exhale, hands to the heart, mountain pose. As you inhale, use your core strength to lift your right leg out in front. Spread the toes. Stay as tall as you can. Try not to lean back. And we'll come forward into Warrior Three. We want the hips even. If you're not sure if they are, take your hands and touch your hips just to see. Spin the inner right thigh up towards the sky. Then step back, coming into Warrior Two. So for Warrior Two, we want the outer edge of the back foot parallel with the short edge of the mat. Hips are as even as you can get them. Arms parallel with the floor, and then rise up with that left hand. As you exhale, bring the left hand down to the ground. Right arm up overhead. Take a look at the right thumb if that doesn't hurt your neck. Alternatively, you can look down at the mat. Take a bind here, opening up the chest. And then we're going to use the core strength and our sense of balance to step that back foot to the front of the mat. Transfer the weight onto the right foot. Find a drishti, a place where you'll look to focus all your energy. And we'll lift up off that left foot. Keeping the chest open, see what happens if you extend that leg. Spread the toes, be as tall as you can. And then when you're ready, set the left foot down. Transfer the weight to the left foot. And we'll step the right foot back to the back of the mat. Release the bind when you're ready. Rise up, windmill the arms. Three-legged plank pose. Lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come back to your breath. Come back to your focus. As you inhale, rise onto the toes, bend the knees. Step, hop, or walk to the front of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, hips over ankles. Inhale, rise all the way up, feet together, knees together, hands to the heart. As you inhale, use your core strength to lift your left leg. Try not to lean back. Spread the toes. And when you're ready, we'll come into a capital letter T, Warrior Three. Spin the inner left thigh up towards the sky. Feel free to check the hips. Get as long as you can from your toes to your head. And when you're ready, bend that front leg. Step back into Warrior Two. You might need to widen your stance here. Outer edge of the left foot parallel with the short edge of the mat. Open up the arms, make your arms really strong. Spin the inner right thigh up towards the sky, and when you're ready, reverse warrior two. Lifting the right arm, looking up to the hand. Exhale, right hand down to the mat, left arm up overhead. Take a look at the thumb if that's okay for your neck, or look down at the mat. On your next inhale, find the bind. As with everything, this is all totally optional. If you're not quite at the spot where you want to do a bind and come to the front of the mat and do the whole thing, just stay in that extended side angle pose. Transfer the weight to the left foot, then lift up. You might find that one side is easier or more challenging than the other. It's normal. When you're ready, come down, transfer the weight, step back. Now if you stayed here, we'll all meet in the extended side angle and then rise up for warrior two and windmill the arms. Three-legged plank, activate the core. Lower down, upward facing dog. Open up the chest, draw shoulder blades toward one another, then roll over the toes, downward facing dog. As you inhale, rise onto the toes, bend the knees, hop, step, or walk to the front of the mat, halfway lift. Feet together, knees together, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Tadasana, mountain pose. On your next inhale, transfer the weight to your left foot, lift up the right foot. We're coming into tree pose. So we're going to press that right foot either into the side of the calf muscle or the upper thigh, but not on the knee joint. See if you can challenge yourself to get the right knee in line with your left leg. So if someone was looking at you from the side, they wouldn't see your knee. Be as tall as you can be. When you're ready, reach down, grab hold of that foot. Hug the knee into the chest. And from here, we're going to come into dancer's pose. So lift the left arm, grab hold of the right foot from the inside arch, and when you're ready, send the chest forward, reach forward, and lift that back leg up as high as you can. Who cares how high you get it? Just do your best. Spread the toes. And then lift the left kneecap, so you're really engaging the left thigh. When you're ready, slowly come back. Lift both arms and extend the right leg again, trying not to lean back. From here, we're going to cross the leg, coming into standing pigeon pose. So we're sinking low in the hips, tucking the tailbone, long spine. And as you inhale, rise up. And as you exhale, press everything down. Taking it over to the other side. Put all the weight on the right foot. Grabbing hold of the left foot, putting it into the right leg, wherever works for you. And then intending to get that left knee in line with your right leg. Collarbones are broad, shoulder blades drawn toward one another. Activating the core, tucking the tailbone. On your next inhale, go ahead and release that leg. We're going to hug the knee into the chest. And then when you're ready, find your way into dancer's pose. When you're ready to release, come out. Bring both arms up and extend the left leg using your core strength. Then we'll bend the right leg, cross the left foot over the right thigh. Long spine, sink the hips, tuck the tailbone, sit low. And rise up, lift the knee, And press everything super slowly down to the ground. Good job. Hands to the heart for Tadasana, then sit low for Utkatasana, chair pose. Tuck the tailbone, keep the knees in line. When you're ready, tip forward for forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on the shins if you need, bend the knees. Exhale, plant the hands, step hop or jump back. I'm going to come into the knife edge of the right foot, taking side plank. Lift the left leg if you like, or stay where you are. If you need to take it a step further, you can step that left foot back behind you, taking Wild Thing. From here, look down at the mat and super slowly step your left foot to the front of the mat, rising up for High Lunge. As you exhale, bend the elbows and back knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift, and bring hands to the ground. Three-legged plank. When you're ready, activate the core, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Step your feet up the mat a couple of inches. Come back to your breath. Come back to your intention. Quiet your mind. On your next inhale, roll into plank pose and over to the knife edge of the left foot. Stack the feet, stay here if you like, or if you need more, lift that top leg. If you need more, bend the legs, step back, Wild Thing. And wherever you are, we're going to meet in side plank and then step the right foot to the front of the mat. See if you can get it there really slowly, using your core strength and rising up for High Lunge. Once you're there, we'll bend the elbows and back leg and rise up. Bend, rise up. Bend, rise up. And bring the hands to the ground. Step back, three-legged plank and lower all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, child's pose. Take wide leg child's pose if that feels good for you. Reach your hips back towards your feet, but don't worry if they don't get there, and let your head rest on the mat. As you inhale, rise up. I'm going to come into headstand. So for headstand, we want to grab opposite arms and see how my fingers are all the way around the arm. That's what we really want. Then interlace the fingers, bring the top of the head down and walk yourself up until your pelvis is over your head. Then just bring one leg up and avoid kicking. Use your strength to lift yourself up. And once you're up, bring the bottoms of the feet together. Knees out to the side. Keep pressing into the forearms. Then we'll spread the legs, reaching the feet out, spread the toes. Then we'll extend the legs up overhead and come out the same way we went in. So go slower than you want to go. Challenge yourself here. Use your core strength. And then when you're ready, come into child's pose. We'll do it again. Grab opposite arms. Interlace the fingers, put the top of the head down. Walk, 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 walk until the pelvis is over the head, and we'll come up with the other leg up, avoiding kicking. From here, do something else. Do what feels good, play around. I'm going to bring both legs together, and then I'm going to practice piking down and lifting back up before my feet touch the ground. This is a really great exercise for the core and for balance, playing around with hollow back here. When you're ready, come down and we'll meet in child's pose. Let your head rest on the mat, connect back with your breath. No judgment on whatever just happened. If you fell over, it's not a big deal. The only way we can improve is by playing around and just seeing what happens. On the next inhale, come onto all fours. Press down into your toes, which are curled onto the mat, and into your hands, then lift your knees. Then from here, sidestep over to the left. Set your knees down, then set your hips down and swing your legs out in front of you. Remove the flesh from underneath the sits bones. Bend your knees. Lift your heart. We're coming into Navasana, boat pose. So using our sense of balance, using our core strength, press the big toe mounds together and spread the toes. If you need a little bit more of a challenge, extend the legs. Use your hip flexors to lift those legs up even more. Lift your heart, back is long. Then gently release, grab hold of the tops of the shins, pull your heart forward and look up. Exhale, press your knees together, round your upper back, chin to chest. Inhale, open up the knees, pull the heart forward, look up. And from here, remove the flesh underneath the sits bones. We'll take it again. Your choice to keep the shins parallel to the ground or extend. Whatever feels best for you, do that. Then release. Pull the heart forward, open up the knees, look up. Exhale, press the knees together, chin to chest, round the upper back. Inhale, pull forward, look up. Exhale, press the knees, round the upper back, chin to chest. Inhale, rise up, arms out in front. Exhale, super slowly, lower all the way down to the ground. Once you get there, if you have your hair in a ponytail, take it out. Then we'll lift the hips, coming into shoulder stand. So support the low back with the hands. Lift your legs up high, press the big toe mounds together, and then stay there or do something different with your legs. You can bring the knees into the forehead, you can practice splits, you can cross the legs. Just have fun playing around. When you're ready, come into plow pose. So we'll see what happens when we bring the feet back behind us. Maybe the toes can press into the ground behind you. Bring the arms down to the ground. Then when you're ready, we'll release the pose using the arms as brakes until we come into corpse pose for a second. Then we'll bend the right leg, take the left hand to right knee and pull the knee up and over the body, supine spinal twist. Look out over your right shoulder, and with each exhale, melt your right knee and right shoulder down towards the ground. Inhale, come back to center. Grab hold of the big toe. Extend out of the right leg. Then we'll bring the right leg over to the right. If grabbing hold of the toe doesn't work for you, just grab hold of the knee. Bend the knee and then open up to the right and look out over your left shoulder. Press the left hand into the left hip, not letting it lift. Then when you're ready, come back to center. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lift the head up towards the leg. Breathe into the back of the right leg. And when you're ready, gently release. We'll take it to the other side. Right hand to left knee. Pull the knee up and over the body. Look out over your left shoulder. Supine spinal twist. With each exhale, we're trying to get the left shoulder further down towards the ground. Left knee further down towards the ground. Scan your body to see where you're holding on to something And as you exhale, let it go. As you inhale, come back to center. Grab hold of the toe or the knee. And we'll swing the leg over to the left. Look out over the right shoulder. Press the right hand into the right hip so it doesn't lift. And as you inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, lift the head towards the leg. Breathe into the back of the left leg. As you inhale, gently release, coming into Shavasana. Close your eyes and let go of your intentional breathing. Let your body be really heavy. And let yourself be in total relaxation for the next few minutes. On the next inhale, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and roll over onto your right side. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And we'll exit the same way we went in, so bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your stomach, keep your eyes closed. Just taking a moment to acknowledge your practice, acknowledge the sense of calm you feel, and know that it has the power to carry you throughout the rest of your day. Thanks so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.